Welcome back to another episode of the Clear Skin podcast. And today I am back with Amelia and Nikki from Clear Skin Solutions. And we have a really important topic that we want to talk about today when it comes to acne and really manage some expectations. So our podcast today is called The Journey to Clear Skin, Understanding Why Acne Takes Time to Clear. Now, we know that acne has a huge impact on people's lives, both physically and emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah. So not only is there emotional scarring, physical discomfort, we get that you guys want your acne to be cleared ASAP, but we need to understand a little bit more about acne, what triggers it, and manage those expectations that, acne clearing is a journey. Acne is a dysfunction of the pore, meaning that can't actually be cured, but it can be managed with the right approach. And so we want to dive in a little bit deeper today and talk more about all the different aspects and the multifaceted factors that contribute to acne. So ladies, maybe you could hop in here and just share a little bit about the multifaceted factors that contribute to acne. We're talking oil production, clogged pores, bacteria, inflammation.
I was thinking this morning about growing up with acne and the solutions that we used to have, like what we used to use. And it was all like skin stripping,
like even like wipe your face with alcohol pads,
Yes.
Which ended up making my skin go, I got you, I will help you, let me make some more oil, right? And so I would use sea breeze, alcohol, all of it, just more often. Right. And so I completely was unkind to my skin and depleted it of all the natural oils that are super important for us to have a healthy aging skin. And I always joke around, all of us, even the young girls that come in here, even the young kids that come in here, we're all aging. And so either we support that process or we strip it.
So a lot of times when we strip our skin, I know that can lead to overproduction of oil because
and a compromised skin barrier and accelerated aging.
Right.
Yes, and I like to remind people quite a bit because they'll go, this is hormonal acne, or this is acne because I have oily skin. Everybody has hormones, right? Everybody. There's not anybody I've met so far that walked in the door that didn't have hormones. It is how we support our hormones by our lifestyle, our diet, and the products that we're using. So it's super important that we approach skin acne from multiple levels, not just, somebody had come in and said, I've been stripping my skin for a long time. Why isn't it working? That's never going to work.
I have acne. I wash my face 3 times a day. Why isn't it going away?
So what would you say are the main issues related to acne then? If it's not, just clogged pores, can you share some of those?
Super important is that it's hereditary.
Okay.
Right. That dysfunction of the pore I passed down to my daughter, no matter how much she believed that she didn't have acne. She just thought she had textured skin.
I just needed new makeup.
It's so true. I just need new makeup. I just need a new stripper. So, one of the things that's super important is that we need to support our bodies that are already really intelligent, already really smart. So, Amelia will go into the depth of, how we start healing our skin so we can start getting those ingredients that are really going to change those pores.
And when clients do overstrip or overexfoliate because, it's that I need to dry out this oil, right? Because that's going to stop the acne. So what are some of the things that you've seen on people's skin that has come from stripping or overexfoliating?
Well, first of all, it's going to make it worse because it's going to dry your skin out. So we already have a dysfunctional pore and you're drying your skin out. So you're filling it full of more dry skin, but we don't have anything to get that going so that your body can purge it on its own. So you have this dysfunctional pore that you're adding things to. It's filling up with waxy substances. There's nothing that's going in there to help that pore release any of that. So it's just going to continue getting worse. And then when you have that dry skin, a lot of times when people start getting dry, they end up having more breakouts, and then they try to strip more, and it's just a cycle. Just
Like
keep
a
it going.
vicious cycle. And so,
Cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, but also it's awareness, because you only know as much as you do, you know?
and with acne, I know I've heard you guys talk a lot about this. Like you talked about that sticky substance. Can you kind of maybe explain that a little bit more? So with acne, the what's clogging in the pores is like a sticky glue, and it's harder to get out of the pores, right?
So funny is like going back to growing up, we thought, because we learned enough about bacteria, that we thought that if we stripped our skin from any bacteria, that we were going to make it okay and that we would stop having acne. The problem is that it's inside the pore. That dysfunction is inside the pore. So the trapped bacteria, the dead skin, and the oil is just like a constant cycle that we have to retrain to teach the pore to expel. So it's just the same thing, that we have to help the natural process change inside of our body.
And how are you making that happen to your clients that come in?
Well, first we calm everything down.
Mhm.
Yes.
First, we get on really hydrating products. We repair the skin barrier. We bring everything back to, the space that you're supposed to be in, so we're not having triggered breakouts just from that.
Right.
And then also the importance of,
Let's pause there for a second,
Yeah.
because people are super scared about that. When we tell them hydrate, they're like, what do they say?
No.
they're like, I'm already oily.
Yeah, already oily. You don't want to do this.
So let's be
And-
clear, there is a huge difference between hydrated skin and oily skin, right? They're not the same.
They're not.
So we have to hydrate the skin, and a lot of times, because like I said, that skin has been depleted. So let's talk a little bit about what that hydration does, and maybe curb some anxiety from some of our clients who are like, no, please don't hydrate me.
I always get super excited when I have a client that calls themselves oily, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on somebody that really is oily. It's rarely a thing. It rarely happens. What they are is depleted.
Right.
And one of the things that happens as we start healing the skin is they go through a period where they feel a little bit oily, and then they normalize. They start becoming more normal, right?
Mhm.
But because they've been depleting and stripping and super accustomed to that feeling of stripped skin, once we get that switched, the balance starts happening on its own. It's a rare thing to find somebody with true oily skin.
Like the over oil production is as a result of the barrier being compromised. So
exactly.
if you put everything back to its normal space, the oil production isn't what you thought it was,
So true.
Really, if I would start having a conversation about 1 out of 500 clients about that oily skin, I'd get off topic, because honestly, it's not common to have somebody with oily skin. We have people that have stripped their skin, and so we have to retrain them on paying attention. Like a lot of people will have discomfort in their skin, and they've tuned out to it. They don't even notice.
Yes. But yeah, you don't realize what your skin should feel like when you're not using the right products for your skin. Now, I know I've heard you guys talking about like purging. So and that's kind of a scary word for a lot of clients as well, because a lot of times, let's talk about people who don't think that they have acne, but then they actually do, and starting on proper acne products, what can happen to their skin.
I always like to say, because people use the word purging incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
Purging to me is like, there isn't already acne there, and all of a sudden we've created acne. It is already there, and there's only one way out. And that's to the surface. And that kind of goes to that relationship with me and my daughter, about her going, I don't have acne. I started having acne when you gave me these products. And honestly,
oh no, I had acne. I had super textured skin.
Yeah.
But when you have products with small enough molecule sizes that they can actually go down into your pore and start breaking up those waxy substances from the bottom, then all of that's going to slowly start to come up. And if you think about a skin cycle for a younger person, it might last maybe 18 days. But when you get to your 50s and 60s, that might be a 45-day cycle of where the new skin is regenerating from the base and working itself up to the top. So you've got 3 to 4 months that you might be having that stuff work up and slowly get to the top until eventually you're going to see it. So you might think, oh, I'm starting these new products, it's making me have acne. No, that was underneath the surface, and we're just bringing it up so we can get it gone and start from a clean slate.
And you guys do a controlled purge. It's not like, I mean, you manage those expectations with your clients. They understand that that might be something that is going to happen. And, we talk a lot about, like, you didn't just get acne today. You've had acne, acne takes what, 3 months to develop?
It can
take. Yeah,
I had a shake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually do dairy. I had a shake. I'm 56 years old and I broke out from it because I'm one of those that can't do dairy at all.
Treat
Right.
yourself.
I
Wake up with acne.
myself, and I didn't wait 3 months. It came right up.
Right. Okay.
It
So you
was
had a flare up.
right away. And so I do the same thing that we recommend for everybody else. Like, we have a process to help it pass quickly.
And I've noticed that a lot of, especially our virtual clients that come in, I mean, we've never seen these people in person. We get pictures sent in. We've never touched their skin, but the transformation that I see just from getting on those right products and starting that hydration piece and, clearing out the congestion that's underneath, it's pretty incredible. So one of my questions that I have actually is, there's different types of acne. We know that there's, closed comedones, there's open comedones, blackheads, whiteheads, pustules, that kind of thing. But is there a specific kind of acne that is easier to treat or that's going to get cleared first?
Like, we had a new virtual client and they're like, we don't see pictures of skin like my son's. His is severe. That's because that passes super fast. That red, inflamed pustules are usually the parts that we heal the fastest. It's the closed comedones, the maturation arrest that it's like a pebble and you don't really see an exit, right? Those are the ones that take us a little bit longer because we have to comb that skin and make it really accepting to those ingredients that can be a little more irritating. So
Right.
those take a little bit longer, but the inflamed, the ones that everybody sees, those are the easiest. Those are the quickest.
Well, and that's actually that's good to know because those are the ones that have more, redness and irritation.
Yes.
And so if you can get that calmed down pretty quickly, then it's like, whoo, you see your results and you want to keep going. It's a great motivational piece. Not to say that you're not going to see results if you have other types of acne. It just means that it may take a little bit longer for those products to get in there, your skin to cycle. Now, one of the other parts that we talk about quite a bit with our clients is acclimation. A lot of times clients will come into the clinic or virtually as last resort. They have tried everything and anything, on the shelves, doctors, dermatologists, medications, etc. And there's all of these skincare trends that you're seeing online. And so people are product hopping quite a bit. And because, and again, like, I completely understand you just want that quick fix, right? It worked for somebody else, so it's probably going to work for you. But what happens when people are product hopping and trying this, that, and everything? What's actually happening to the skin?
When I first started clearing skin, I wanted to please everybody. And so I would say, they would come in and I'd say, oh, we'll just slowly change your products, right? We'll slowly. And what I found out is it was a disservice to our clients because all I was doing was prolonging the inevitable. Like, the products they were already using were a problem. There was already ingredients in those formulas that were creating a slowdown of getting to a solution. Yes, we are more expensive. Yes, our products do cost. But the bottom line is that the products that you're using that are not changing your skin are costing you so much more.
And especially when you're buying over the counter products, there's like tons of filler and water and just, ingredients to bulk up the product, and they're not specifically in the right order. They have to be able to suit the masses, right? Where professional skincare is probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but at the end of the day, you're using the right products for your skin. You're not using nearly as much, and you're definitely not jumping around from product to product. So,
and also the guidance on the acclimation note. So when you're acclimating to product, like if you're just buying a random product online, well, first of all, we don't know the quality of the ingredients you're using or how far down the ingredient deck they are. So let's say you're buying a vitamin A and it's over the counter. It might have pore cloggers in it. It might have irritating ingredients, and their Vita A might be so down in the ingredient deck, it's not actually penetrating your skin or doing you any favors.
right.
Now, with those products, if you are getting like a prescription strength tretinoin and you're starting it right away and you're doing it every day, you're going to have irritation because we need to acclimate to certain products before we can use them every day. So having the guidance that comes along with having skincare that's going to be prescribed to you, and it's going to be a professional concentrated amount that could potentially irritate your skin, but we're going to hold your hand so we can get results faster, and we can get you acclimated to higher percentage products faster so that we can get your skin to where you want it to be.
Yeah. And one of the things that I love about your approach is that you guys will, do your very, very best to get the skin, healed in the fastest, quickest, and safest way possible. So you're always looking to make sure that the clients are on the right products, that we're acclimating the skin, that we're moving them forward, so that they can get those results. And it is possible. Now, I know diet is a big, like stress and diet is a huge thing that affects people's skin. Can we talk a little bit about how, especially the processed diet, and how that can impact our hormones as well as stress?
One of the approaches that we have, somebody had sent over a message about that they have rosacea / acne, and it's such a difficult thing to help somebody who's not a client, because we go through their diet with the comb when it comes to rosacea, right? There's triggers and there's things that we have to look at. We've got virtual clients that follow a really good diet plan with us, and they'll send messages to us. I know why I just had a flare up.
Yes.
Like I just said, I know why I had a flare up, right? Like my diet's off.
Yeah.
So our diet, each of us might be a little bit different. Each of us might have some things that need to go. Most of us just need to get to a whole food diet, meaning, if there's multiple ingredients, that's not whole food. And so we want to try to get them to protein, and we get a lot of people that want to know, like, what good protein shake or what good protein bar works the best. Our body loves whole foods the best, whole foods. And we can help get them clear faster by doing that. And then they can slowly add in some foods and see what changes.
And also those protein shakes and protein bars, they have triggers in them that can cause acne. A lot of like the whey protein, right?
Whey, yes. So we do help with that, but we always go back to recommending just whole foods are really the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
And ultimately what it comes down to is the dysfunction of the pore, right? Yeah. So you might have a friend who has a really poor diet and she doesn't have any acne. And so it doesn't mean that like your diet isn't a contributor. It means you already have a dysfunctional pore.
Yeah.
And with that being said, cortisol running through our bodies is a detriment to all of our functions. Like it messes with every aspect of our function. Yeah. And so not only would that mess with our endocrine systems and our heart and our stomachs and all these things, but also our skin, of course.
Yeah.
Great. So we discuss stress. There's not much that we don't have discussions around.
You guys take a holistic approach, right, to clearing acne. So you're diving into your lifestyle factors, products that you're using, of course. But yeah, so I think the moral of the story is that acne does not have kind of one singular path. What's going to work for one person isn't going to work for the other. And it's really, really, really important that, especially if you have been kind of on that acne wagon where you're trying everything and anything and you're completely frustrated, finding somebody who completely understands top to bottom, A to Z of acne and what needs to take place in order for you to have results successfully long term. And that's one of the big things that we strive for, is making sure that clients that in clinic and virtually, that they are armed with all the information that they need in order to clear their skin beyond the program. And they will always have our support, and they can always reach out whenever. But I think it's really important for people who do suffer with acne to really understand that it is a bit of a process. It's not a quick fix. There are no quick fixes for it, but with commitment and professional guidance, there's definitely a path to being clear. So
the most important thing is we want to keep it simple at the beginning.
mm-hmm.
A lot of the diet changes, sometimes we dive deeper in because they're not clearing as quickly as we expect. Start having those conversations. So we might have like a 2% that we have to dive deeper into hormones, and and we can do that. It's not, once again, it's not a one size fits all, and antibiotics are not the solution to that, because a lot of times people will go, that's my solution.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is an issue in the gut, we can't heal that with antibiotics. So
and we talk a lot about that in our last episode. So if you missed that one, head back over to that episode and listen to it, because it's quite informative about medications and, treating acne and whether it's necessary or not. One other thing I wanted to just touch on. Now, I've seen a ton of acne clearing at your clinic. And what happens when the acne has subsided? And people are left with subskin issues, I like to call them. We're talking about like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So that's like the dark scarring on the skin, or there's post-inflammatory erythema, which is, that redness on the skin. People are often left with these sub issues. Is there anything that can be done for improving that?
Usually by the time we've got them cleared, that's the very last thing that we look at,
mm-hmm.
right? Like that's usually the holdout, because not just the PIE from them picking, but from having acne itself. So it is the slowest to healing, and
but it does heal.
It does heal
because it's not a scar. PIE, the pinkness will subside back to its original color. It just takes the longest.
Yeah. And we've had clients that thought that their acne was worse, but their acne was gone. They could just now see the marks.
Right.
And that one's about time and patience and healing. But, with vitamin C's and vitamin A's, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It just takes time.
Now, if they actually do have scarring, so some leftover scarring, there's different things that we can do to help with cell renewal, skin turnover, so that we're bringing all of those healthy cells to the surface to make them less visible. But without treatments from probably a dermatologist, you wouldn't be able to completely get rid of scars.
Right. Well, that's great info. Hopefully our listeners were able to take some valuable pieces away from this and understand that acne is going to be a little bit more comprehensive than just single treatments or one-off products. So whether you are here in Ardmore, Oklahoma, or you live anywhere around the US, we have in-clinic and virtual programs available. We always do a 3-month program because, as we just talked about today, we know that there are so many facets to acne that need to be, monitored, and needs guidance and needs product adjustments as you go. So if you're struggling, please reach out to us. We have options, like I said, both virtually and in clinic. We hope that you found this episode informative, and also be sure to hit that follow button so that you never miss an episode. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here today and sharing all of your wealth of knowledge. Appreciate you guys so much. And thank you everybody for listening, and have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.